good afternoon, early afternoon, morning, depending on where you are in this world. Uh, been busy. I did two shows yesterday. I was on at 6 with this female comic who has a podcast. Her name's Chrissy Mayer, and she's great. She's a really funny comic, and she has her own comic. She has her own podcast, so it's CMP, Chrissy Mayer Podcast. And so I was on her show at 6. And then at 9, Phil and I had a medium come on named Oracle Laura, and I thought the show was pretty entertaining, and I don't, it's tough sometimes. Where is everybody? 43 seconds has gone by and I don't see anyone. Where are all you, where's my Great Britain people? They're just waking up. Where is everybody? I'm waiting to see the first person in the chat. This is a record, 55 seconds. No one in the chat yet. Oh my God. I'll just keep talking and I'll talk to myself, I guess. One person I see is watching. What the heck is going on? Did I lose my popularity? Joe Kane is 84 at 1 minute and 9 seconds. Wow, that's the longest it's ever taken for someone to come into the chat. Joe, thank you for being the first one. Sharon Stevenson, SSS, hey, Kimberly Moore, hello. Good to see everybody. Did you guys watch the show last night with Oracle Laura? What'd you think? Give it a 1 for a like and a 2 for it was so. What do you think? It's so you got to take chances in this podcast stuff. Joe Kane watched it. He liked it. Thank you, Joe. SSS didn't like it. Just got notifications there, I think, late. Texas here. Yes, I did. Lynn Harvey didn't like it. You got to take chances with guests. You can't have the same type of guest on all the time. So I think that was taking a little bit of a chance having a medium. We've had a medium on once before. SSS, you didn't watch it. I thought you didn't like it. Oh, okay, you didn't watch it. You can still watch it on the rebound, But I've been really busy. In fact, tonight at 6 o'clock, I'm going to be on News Nation, the 6 o'clock show, and then tomorrow night I'm going to be on News Nation at 10 o'clock with Ashley Banfield. So I don't know. Maybe I'm getting more popular. Maybe I'm not. Maybe they just need a free talking head. I don't know, but it's exciting for me. And the cool thing about appearing on News Nation. News Nation. There's a channel called Newsmax. I'm going to be on News Nation. The cool thing, I support you having guests that I don't want to watch. I'm not your only fan. SSS, thank you so much. I totally agree with you. But I like when my fans / subscribers. Hoppy, I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? Welcome back, Hoppy. I see these names coming blast from the past. Kimberly Moore, I'm in Michigan, about 2 miles from the high school shooting. I'm so sorry to hear that. These active shooter tragedies, and the shooter was 15 years old. And I read the story about the kid that was a football player who was an all-around, all-American kid. And he tried to actually take the gun from the active shooter, and he lost his life. Just tragic, horrible. And, you pray that those things don't happen. But, in this country, it seems to happen quite often. And then, of course, it becomes political. They get political mileage out of it. It's just horrible. But, so I'm looking for, I can't tell you how much I love doing this show. I really do. I mean, it's like, I've done a lot of things in my life. I worked as a kid. I worked as a caddy on a golf course. I worked in a hospital for a while. Then, of course, I got my college degree and worked as a bartender for years. And then I went on the NYPD, had numerous jobs doing that, did almost 27 years. And then I taught college for 10 and a half years, 5 while I was still in the police department and 5 and a half when I was retired. So, you do different things in your life, and it's so great for me not to have to punch a clock. This is my job right now, being a podcaster. Being a content creator, as they say. And it's so great to meet the people that I've met through this, whether it be guests. My booster. Oh, you want to talk about my booster shot? I tell you what, the booster shot I got, I'm not going to downplay it. It hurt. It still hurts on my left shoulder, arm area. It hurts, and I had a bad headache after it last night during the 2 shows. I had a bad headache, but it seems to be subsiding now. And look, I'm glad I got it. Well, however your feelings on vaccines, if you don't want to get it, don't get it. I believe to get it. I don't want to get the virus. I got, both Pfizer shots. I just got the booster shot, and I got the flu shot. So now some new disease will come out, and I'll get that. Yes, Rich called the COVID shot, but I got the booster. I got the booster shot. Free society, you have to go already. You just got here. Mike Champlin, no Fauci, ouchie. That's good. Sharon Stevenson, good stuff. Oh, look, I'm not being political about the shot at all. I do what's best for me. I believe getting the shot was the right thing, so I did it for me. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. I am not preaching whatsoever, I remember last year, it felt like we were locked in the house for like a year and a half. I couldn't do comedy. I couldn't do acting. And, that's how this show actually took off more. We started out doing the show in a studio, and then we moved in. We were doing it via Zoom, and I didn't like Zoom, so we started using StreamYard, which I find so user-friendly, and it's great, and I really know how to use it well. And the amazing thing is you could have someone on the other side of the world, and it's like they're in your living room. It's amazing. There's people that I'm friends with that I've never met except on StreamYard, like Tommy Dates. Tommy Dates, I feel like we've been buddies forever. He's a retired detective. He wrote the book Friends of the Family with Michael Vecchione about the mafia cops. And I've never physically met him in person, but we've met numerous times via StreamYard. So I don't want to bore you with it, but you know what I'm talking about. So I feel very blessed that I'm able to do this. I'm able to do a podcast, and it's doing well. It's taken off, and 2021 was a great year for the Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories, and 2022 is going to be even better. And I found a really great co-host in Phil Grimaldi, and we there he is. If that's not a medium, I'm like a medium. I started talking about Phil, and there he is. He pops up on the screen. Unbelievable, Unbelievable. Sharon Stevens, thank you so much for the $6.99 super chat. I love that little meme there. It's really cool. Sue M, yeah, I thought the show I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I like when we go off the script a little bit, and we bring someone on. And, Oracle Laura got a hold of me from another social networking site, LinkedIn. And I find a lot of really, really good guests from LinkedIn, professionals. Free Society. Phil was lurking straight out of Brooklyn. He couldn't handle being on President Street all by himself, so he had to call in, show that he's out there. So great, folks. Cheers. This is Coffee with Cannon. Again, I'm not going to pretend I have coffee in here. I don't, because when I bring coffee out here, it lasts about 10 seconds and then it's cold. And I don't like CRP. It was fun. Phil really pressed her. Haha. I think it's Rich Carver. I saw the interview of Alec Baldwin with George Snuffleupagus. I call him George Snuffleupagus, not Stephanopoulos, because he's just a Democrat operative, and he was throwing beach balls to Alec Baldwin. Let me just make a statement here. A gun does not go off by itself. Someone pulls the trigger. That someone was Alec Baldwin. He is now lying. I'm sure he admitted to pulling the trigger when he was interviewed by the police. Now he's changing his story, probably at the behest of his attorneys. But now what, George Snuffleupagus is now going to be his public relations guy and pretending to do journalism? It's just crazy, I find it hard to watch. Yeah, of course, that's what's called a beach ball interview. He's throwing him beach balls, and then I love how Alec, the death of Helena Hutchins was tragic, horrendous, but there is negligence. Phil and I did that case numerous times. We covered it. We had Steve Gardell on it, who's a movie TV unit for the NYPD expert on movie sets. And there was negligence on that set. And now they're trying to rewrite history? No, I don't think so. So, yeah. They had excerpts from the interview. I don't know if I'd be able to stomach watching the full interview, Mike Shemp, Phil did a great job. Yes, Phil was great last night. You know, I had asked Phil before the show, and he could probably corroborate this. I said, Phil, if you don't mind, would you do most of the talking tonight? Because I was just on a show for over an hour, and I just got my booster shot, and I'm not all I'm not all there tonight. So Phil, not being shy and not being short of words, said absolutely, absolutely. Oh yeah, George Clooney slammed that whole setup on Rust. Folks, I'll repeat again, a gun does not go off by itself. You must pull the trigger. So Alec Baldwin thinks that people are stupid, and he's trying to rewrite history. I'd love to see the results of his interview when the police interviewed him. I'm sure that he said that he pulled the trigger early on. Now he's changing up his story. So what's more believable, the interview that took place an hour after the occurrence or an interview that took place weeks and months later? Yeah, Mike Champlin said Alec Baldwin claiming that there's a shooter on the grassy knoll. We've heard that one before. Exactly, So, I'm trying to, I don't know if you guys saw our show with Jimmy Calandra, who is from the Bath Avenue. I guess they were called the Bath Avenue Boys. They were like an offshoot of organized crime. He was like a bank robber and stuff like that. And he's coming on the show. I gave him 3 dates. He didn't get back to me yet. I'm waiting to hear from him. And I just booked Kyle and Jen Bethune. And that was the Red, White, and Bethune. They're booked for December 16th at 9 p.m. They are the folks that travel around with their family in a big mobile home. And they are the ones that they found Gabby Petito's van on August 27th. And based on that, the search area was narrowed down, and that's how Gabby was found. So they're going to come on the show. They're a really interesting couple. They have 3 kids. They had a son, I believe, that died 5 years ago under tragic circumstances. Interesting couple, great people. I was just on texting with them before, and they've agreed to come on the show, which is fantastic. So Jimmy Calandra, we're waiting on Jimmy Calandra, and Kyle and Jen Bethune, we booked them, and we John Beza, a retired NYPD sex crime investigator, who just put out a book, The Complete Guide to Sex Crime Investigation. He's going to come on the 15th, and he's going to talk about the Upper East Side Rapist Task Force, and that occurred between the years of 1994 and 1998, and that serial rapist committed 16 rapes on the Upper East Side, and that case was never, ever solved. So we're going to speak about that case. It should be very, very interesting, as well as John Beza worked with another detective from Manhattan Special Victims, John Savino, who wrote a book called The Rape Investigation Handbook, and it was a brilliant book. When I taught college, I used it to teach the sex crime course. A fantastic book. And John Savino, at one time, I don't know if it still holds water, but he was the most experienced sex crime investigator in the country. He did 16 years of his, I guess, like 25-year career investigating sex crimes. So he was John Beza's partner. So it's going to be a brilliant show. It's going to be amazing. We have one other show on this Sunday at 3 p.m. The producer, Philly, help me with his name. He's the producer of Gravesend and Willie DeMeo. That's it. So he's coming on Sunday at 3 p.m. A higher power put the Bethunes at that location at that time. Phil Grimaldi, 100% Phil. Willie DeMeo is coming on at 3 p.m. on Sunday. We normally don't do shows on Sunday, but we're tireless. We got to compete with some really aggressive content providers and put all our content out there. Margie Miranda, Oracle Laura last night was not a very credible medium. She sounded more like I'm sorry, it went too fast. Look, that was the second time we had a medium on Police Off the Cuff. And the last time we had one on, I think I was a little too tough on her. And I didn't want to hit Oracle Laura with tough questions that were like questioning the credibility of her discipline. So I was just trying to let her tell her story. And I told her early on, before we went on the show, that I just wanted to have a conversation. And that's what I like to do on Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. I like to put our guests at ease and just say, look, you're in a living room with us, you're sitting at a bar, and we're just having a conversation. Brent Montgomery, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Very, very, very much appreciated. So, yeah, I like to put our guests at ease and just say, we're just going to have a conversation, you know. That's the best. I think mediums of body language. Look, we all have some, what is it called, ESP, extrasensory perception, and that's, I think, what hunches come from. That's what I think premonitions come from, and I think we all have some of that. It's how much maybe you build on it or how much you develop it. Um, but you can go on duty run to go to EquiSearch to look at the trail at least. Yeah, well, you know, Phil and I are both honorary members of EquiSearch, law enforcement liaisons, and you know, we feel honored at that. And you know, Duty Ron has been real close with the EquiSearch people, and it's just a brilliant organization. And Dave Rader, we're friends with him. I talk to Dave every once in a while. I send him some of our episodes. Great man. And these people are selfless people. And to know the world is filled with people like that, amazing. It keeps your faith in mankind going, you know. Boston Christian, thank you so much for that. Cheers, Boston Christian. I know I'm supposed to be drinking coffee. Coffee with Cannon, and you know, the dipped in butter. You can get one of these mugs on the policeoffthecuff.com sign on a merch. You can get a dipped in butter mug. You can get a Polish My Rack shirt. You can get a Polish My Rack. Peter Pranzo, Lieutenant Pete, a legend in his own right, and with his wife Richella, they're two of our best fans. They've been with us from the beginning. It's the best. I'm drinking coffee. You're goofing on the way we say coffee, but that's okay. Where's all my Great Britain people? I'm not seeing everyone today. You guys take the day off? Butter and racks. That's right. Kimberly Meyer, Sergeant Bill, cheers, cheers. Oh, Molly Moon, it was late for you in Ireland. Yeah, you know, we, around here, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 to 9 is probably the best time to do a show. But also, we don't want to do a show at the same time Duty Run does, because then we just get killed. You know, all his fans, some of his fans are fans. And if he's on at the same time as us, we have two people listening to us, you know. So Scotland was, I didn't see the name, but Scotland's here. Great to see you, Scotland. No, we can't, out of stock on the Tanks for Ladies. I can't believe they're out of stock on that. I'll have to give them a little call. That's the best. I love the New York accent. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Thomas Jordan, hello to all. Great to see everybody, you know. Is everyone looking forward to the holidays coming up? I mean, it's Christmas. If you're Christian, there's Hanukkah going on. The holidays always get hectic, though, you know. Time of family. My son's actually flying in from Denver. He just got there, and he's flying home already. I guess he likes mom's cooking, you know. LS from Russia. Russia is here, too. Wow, Nostrovia. This is not vodka. I can't drink Stolichnaya. You know, and they say, you know, for us, the best Russian vodka is Stolichnaya. But in Russia, they don't consider that the best vodka. They know what the best vodka is in Russia. Sue M. Loves Christmas time. Phil Grimaldi, happy Hanukkah to all our Jewish friends. All of our Jewish. Dr. Stephen Washkill. He was celebrating Hanukkah. Great man. He's a friend of the show. He's been on a bunch of times. I love Dr. Washkill. I always say, you know, I said it when I was doing the show with Mark, and I say it, I'm doing the show with Phil. One of the greatest things about doing this show is the wonderful people you meet. And that includes guests as well as fans, subscribers. We meet people from all over the world, and it's wonderful. I gave Free Society. I did a song earlier in the week. I recorded. I sent it to our subscribers. I recorded "Fairy Tale of New York" by the Pogues, and I put it on our Patreon and on our YouTube subscriber channel. So It's still on there, so you could still listen to it. It's Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. An old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, that rare old Mountain Dew. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas. I love you, baby. There'll be a better time when all our dreams come true. That's all you're getting today. I'm not singing the rest of it. Uno Who, good to see you. Where have you been? Oh, Uno Who, I haven't seen you around either. All these blasts from the past. Victoria Holdsworth, better than the original. Thank you so much. Molly Moon, my mother sang Fairy Tale live on the radio here, and it's a great with Shane McGowan. Great, great song. You know, Shane McGowan's birthday is Christmas Day. Did you know that? Amazing. Richella, good to see you, Richella. Detective Phil, how goes it? That's from Kimberly Myers. Victoria Holsworth, you know, I'm gonna when right as we close to the holidays, I'm gonna be out here. Billy Big Guns Cannon, Tom Delgado's on the air. Wow, New York City's premier tour guide, Tomas Delgado. He's got a law degree. If you need a lawyer, although I don't want him competing with Joe Murray, but Tomas Delgado, the best tour guide in New York City. So great. I'm glad you're coming on the air with us here. You know, yesterday I was saying, you know, this is Coffee with Cannon, but then I started ranting and I said, oh, should I call this Bitchin' with Bill? And it got a couple of laughs, you know, because we all bitch a lot, right? Should I name it Bitchin' with Bill instead of Coffee with Cannon? I mean, crazy. There he is, Tom Delgado. Hello, how you doing, Tom? Where's your next tour? I mean, we got to do that tour of Bensonhurst and show them mob hit locations with Straight Out of Brooklyn, Phil Grimaldi. We'll do a show from there, you know. Tomas Delgado with Straight Out of Brooklyn, Phil Grimaldi. Maybe we can even get Tommy Dades to come. That would be amazing, you know. It's people love the mob. They love the mob stories. Call it Banter with Bill and Molly Moon. And eat at Spumoni Gardens. That's right. I dream of that pizza, that amazing squares, the square pizza they have. Oh, my God. Sue M. love bitching with Bill. I'm dying to go back to Spumoni Gardens and get one of those. And I buy two of them because you can freeze them. And then they thaw out and you put them in the microwave or in the oven and you put a little olive oil and they're brand new. Unbelievable. But it's like Spumoni Gardens. I dream of that sometimes, those squares pizzas. It's just, if you guys from Great Britain don't know Spumoni Gardens, when you come to New York, you got to take a trip to Bensonhurst just to get some of those pizza squares. Can any defense attorney represent you if you're not in the same state? I believe that they have to be licensed in the state. The lady is a tramp. Thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. I believe they have to be licensed in the state that they practice. I could be incorrect because they may be able to assist under the license of another attorney that they're affiliated with. I'd have to. Where's Joe Murray when you need him? You know, he's not in the chat today, and Angie isn't either. They must be busy on some big case. Single mom of four. I was watching Joe and Angela's new show, Allegedly Guilty. When were they doing a live? They haven't done a live in about a week, I don't think. They did one together, but that was their last one. Yeah, Joe Murray is a great guy, great attorney, and he's been a huge, huge supporter and friend of this show, you know. A lot of friends of this show, and we appreciate that. Especially around Christmas time, you guys. We all appreciate. Cheers. Maui Swift. I was just talking to you this morning on the chat underneath, and she's a huge supporter of us, and I really appreciate her. Another Canadian, right, Maui? You're from British Columbia or Toronto? I'm mixing it up, maybe. Oracle Laura was from British Columbia, and Esther Best just gone and subscribed to them. That's great. Maui Swift, yes, British Columbia, right? And you're a runner too, right, Maui? You run a lot of like 10Ks and stuff like that. Vancouver, Vancouver. Oh, you know James Burns. James Burns, the blues musician. He's a good friend of mine. And I always wanted to get to Vancouver to see Jim Burns. I met him in Italy, God, 15 years ago. And we were staying at the same resort. And the owner of the resort had his CD on. And I said to the owner, I said, who is that guy? And he goes, oh, he's a blues musician, James Burns. And he said, he's staying here. And then somehow James Burns told the owner he wanted my wife and I to have dinner with him and his wife. And we sat with them and we hung with them the whole time we stayed there. Maui Swift, you don't know James Burns, brilliant, brilliant guy, great singer. He was an actor too. And well, he is an actor, but he was he was on a TV show for years. I can't think of the name of the TV show right now. Victoria, how do I think Ghislaine Maxwell case is going to go down? I think she's going to get convicted and go to prison for a lot of years. I just don't, it doesn't seem like it's going well for her. And the fact that Jeffrey Epstein is no longer around, it seems like she's taking the heat for him. But I think she has a lot of complicity in this, a lot of liability. If you listen to some of the testimony, it's horrible. And I think she's going to go away for a lot of years. Yeah, it's that case is very, I think it involves a lot of very powerful people, and I wonder if that will ever come out during this trial. Hello, Misty Kate. Good morning to you too. Anyone catch the names the pilot dropped? Well, he said Bill Clinton was on the plane, Donald Trump was on the plane. He named a lot of names, but that doesn't, his out is he had the door shut, so he couldn't tell what was going on in the plane while he was flying the plane. So he's he's just testifying to who he saw on the plane and where he flew to, that type of stuff. But I'm sure he knows a lot more than he's saying. Yeah, Lieutenant Pete, a lot of big names are going to drop, that's for sure. But you think there'll be any criminal liability? Right, K.H. Walker, Bill Gates was a friend. Those people are so powerful, that they can, we already know those two with women, Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Yes, that's what Phil. When you talk about assisted suicide of Jeffrey Epstein, that's what the great Barbara Butcher said. Was it on Duty Ron's show or our show? I'm not sure. She said that she felt that someone assisted Jeffrey Epstein in the suicide, that he didn't do it himself. So that's the great Barbara Butcher. And Barbara Butcher, I got to get her on the show. She's a brilliant, brilliant person. She's got a book coming out. I don't know exactly when the book's coming out, but she's writing it. Allegedly guilty. There you are. We were asking law questions and you weren't here. Allegedly guilty. Is it Joe or is it Angie? If it's Joe, I want to ask you a question. If you're an attorney from New York, can you represent someone in Florida under the license of a Florida attorney? Can you assist in the representation of a client in a Florida court if you work there under the license of a Florida attorney? Can you do that? Well, Mike Champlin, he got out of the Palm Beach jail, but he wasn't getting out of the Tombs in New York City. He was being held in there on no bail, so he knew it seemed hopeless. So, crazy. Joe Murray is on the air. Where are you, Joe? I asked you a question. He's going to send me a bill. I asked you a question of, can you represent someone from another state under the license of an attorney from that state? What was the answer? Joe, I didn't see the answer. I'm sorry. Alicia B, I need to go back to the building. It was on Joe's live. Was Joe just live now? I'm sorry. I wouldn't have gone live at the same time had I known. But Coffee with Cannon, I don't have a specific time. I just, when I can do it, I pop out here on my, I don't know what this is called again. We discussed that one time. Is it a cupola? Is it a lanai? Is it me golden? Alicia B. Joe started at 11 a.m. So he finished. I didn't come out here till over after 12 noon. So allegedly guilty. I'm not licensed in Massachusetts, but an attorney in Mass is going to. It goes so fast. Misty Kate, allegedly guilty. Enjoyed the show this morning. So you enjoyed Joe Murray's show on allegedly guilty. Yeah, Phil, this is my backyard, but the Brits call it me garden. I'm in me garden, and I'm, S the best. I didn't feel great yesterday, and my arm still hurts, but I had a nasty headache yesterday during the shows. I did 2 shows yesterday, one at 6 with Chrissy Mayer on her podcast, and one at 9 on the Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories with Phil. And I was dragging a little bit, and I sort of took a back seat. And it's good to have a co-host like Phil who has no problem talking. Phil has no problem talking and improvising, and it's great. If I throw it to him, I know he's going to run with the football, Hello, Free Society. Well, there's 130 people in the chat. I'm building up this coffee with Cannon, this bitchin' with Bill, backyard beverage, whatever you want to call it, It's great to see all you people here. Factual Breakdown, you guys did a great job last night. Thank you, Factual Breakdown. Angela Donmeyer, hi, how are you? Good to see you. Teresa O'Hanlon, I'm sorry, Mr. O'Halloran. Hello from Ireland. It's great to see my Irish people here. Me own kind, coming from Dublin. Allegedly guilty. What city in Mass? Laugh out loud, bitching with Bill. Yeah, we all like to bitch. Cops are the biggest complainers on this earth. And it's not that they... Robert checked off topic. How's Ed Mullins doing? I think he retired from the police department. I don't know how he's mentally and physically doing. I'd like to drop him a line soon. I don't know if he would want to be taking calls when this thing first occurred. Joey Brooklyn, how you doing, buddy? You driving through Brooklyn? Mike Champlin firing cannons. That's pretty funny, too. Mrs. Kelly, that was a fun show with Scotland Yard. Great job. Steve Keogh, excellent man. We'll probably have him on again. I want to invite the Gabby Cabby on. And in fact, I'm waiting to hear from someone else that I gave 3 dates to. Once that person picks a date, I want to get Andy, the Gabby Cabby, to come on our show. It's always a problem with time because I think, 6 hours ahead, Great Britain, or 5? So we have to do it somewhat early so they're not in the middle of their night, 7 o'clock even for Steve Keogh was 8, 9, 10, 11, it was starting at 11 or midnight. So, you don't want to grab people out of bed in the middle of the night. Alicia B had nothing but a sore arm at site of injection for my 3rd. Yeah, that's what they say, drink a lot of water. Mine was given closer to the shoulder. My son got his in Denver, and he said it was near his bicep. I go, what the hell? Is that the Denver? Is that where they give it in Denver? It's 17:34 in UK, so 5:34 p.m. Factual Breakdown. I'm going to invite Andy the Gabby Cabby on our show. I got to touch base with Phil, too, to know that the times that I'm suggesting for Andy the Gabby Cabby is good for Phil, too, Phil's a busy guy, He's got things to do, people to see. He's got numbers to run. I'm just kidding. Sue M. Genlo, I need an animated T-shirt with that on it with Bill's face. Oh, funny. I could ask Duty Ron if he would like to have Steve Keogh on his show. But, Duty Ron, he books his own people, and I could suggest Steve Keogh to him, but I don't know if I could definitely get him on. Hoppy, I'm so glad. Where were you, Hoppy? Marie Green. Oh, my God. How are you? Good to see you. Got a little late. Feeling poorly now. I'm crying. Bless you, Bill. Thank you. It's 1935 in South Africa. That's 7:35 p.m. Wow. Love Steve Keogh, Sue M. Yeah, great guy. We'll have him back on, one of these days, unless he gets too big. He may not want to talk to Police Off the Cuff Real Crime Stories. He might not want to talk to 2 small-town detectives, Single mom, I think I like bitching with Bill a lot better. Yeah, it's, some people love certain things. our theme song, off the cuff theme song. One of my friend, who I've been a friend with since I was like 8 years old, he recorded that. He played it on his guitar. He played all the instruments, sang it, and he gave me the song for free. And I'd say 99% of the people love that song, but you get 1% go, I hate that song, get rid of it. And people think like they have power over you. Uh, so just Hoppy, just taking a break. Good, but it's great to see you back, Hoppy. Uh, uh, Kathy Bates, it's adorable. I'm glad you like it. It's 12:35, just a little past noon here in Tennessee. Well, it's the same time here in New York. We're on the East Coast, right? Joe Kane, Bill's backyard banter. That's a good one. Might be a little bit of a tongue twister though. Uh, the song is great, Factual Breaker. I also like your intro. So that's why I said 99% of the people like it. You get 1% that like, I hate your song. Get rid of it. Like, oh yes, let me just go get rid of it right now because one person hates it. Uh, Joe Kane he's from Finest Financial. So if you're from around here, he's in Rockland County. He's a fantastic accountant. He's a fantastic financial advisor. You can Google Finest Financial, and you'll get Joe's site. And I highly, highly recommend Joe Kane. I've been with him for over 10 years, and he's always done the right thing by me. So that's Joe Kane. Bob Olson, your channel, your song. Uh, yes, backyard beverage. That was supposed to be one of the first ones, but Josh, the producer, said he liked coffee with Cannon. Phil Grimaldi's drinking Nutella. He likes to put his finger in that little tiny cup where you have the espresso, and sip it, and then have the sambuca with the 3 beans. That's what he's doing. Nutella is the best. So. I really enjoy these backyard shows. They're amazing. I mean, it goes so damn fast. We're at like 37 minutes now. I'm almost due to get the hell. Well, I should be getting off, but I'm so enjoying talking to you guys and you guys coming every day to see me doing coffee with Cannon or bitching with Bill, backyard beverages. Alicia B saying espresso is the best. Robert Schechter. Bill, do you think Eric Adams will keep the de Blasio machine going? I don't have a lot of faith in Eric Adams. I hate to be the doomsday person, but he was never really a cop. He was an activist even when he was a cop. So I don't have a lot of faith in the guy. I hope he does a good job. I hope he does something more for the police and then the NYPD. I hope he does something about crime in the city. Hope he does something about homelessness in the city. I hope he makes it a better job for the NYPD, because for 8 years they've been suffering behind this imitation mayor. But as I said, I don't have a lot of faith in Eric Adams, and I don't know him personally. I just know of him, and I've heard a lot about him from other cops, and I don't. Let me leave it at that. I don't have a lot. I hate to be negative. What's the N word? They say negative Nancy. Well, what's the guy term for a negative Nancy? A negative Nate? I don't want to be a negative Nate, but that's the way it is, All right, guys, I'm at 38 minutes and 30 seconds. I usually don't like to go past that. Tara Ellis, you're right. He's probably going to be better than de Blasio, but I don't know how much better. Well, look, I hope he does come through for the city. Anyone will be better than Bill de Blasio, for sure. Imitation mayor, exactly. Guys, thank you so much for coming by. Coffee with Cannon, bitching with Bill, backyard beverages. I forget what Joe Kane called it. It was a tongue twister. I can't remember it. But have a wonderful day. Have a safe day. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.